So just some reminders before we get into the video. First reminder is to make sure that you're keeping an eye out and an ear out for the keyword for this lesson. Reminder number 2 is to make sure you're taking notes. Include the date, lesson number, aim, and standards to help you refer back in your notes. Let's get to it.
Hi guys, and welcome back. So today we are continuing our lessons in Unit 2. We are on lesson number 3. Our aim is how do we determine if two ratios are equivalent? So our first warm part, which is our warm-up, is going to be reduce the ratio below to its lowest terms. So we have to take 42 to 54 and simplify it. So in order to do that, we want to find our greatest common factor between 42 and 54. If you divide 42 and 54 by 6, which is possible, you're going to get 7 to 9. So again, we're dividing 54 by 6 and dividing 42 by 6. And that's how we get it to its lowest terms, and 7 to 9 can't be simplified. So let's head on to our notes. So a proportion are two equivalent fractions which are set equal to each other. So equivalent means equal. And you got the EQ in there. Proportional relationships is a relationship with equal cross products. When you multiply diagonally, you're going to get the same answer, the same product. Okay, so let's try this out. So our first question is determine if the following ratios are proportional. So 5 to 4 and 35 to 28. The first thing that I want to do, since it's written out in words, is I want to write it in fraction form. To me, that's going to help me set up a proportional relationship or identify if there is a proportional relationship. So here we have 5 over 4 equals 35 to 28. And this is just me checking if it is a proportional relationship. All right, so I want to see if my cross products are the same. So that means I am going to multiply 5 and 28 and 4 and 35. So 4 and 35 and 5 and 28. When I multiply 4 and 35, I'm going to get 140. 5 times 28 is also 140. So that means yes, there is a proportional relationship because the cross products are equal. And that's our reasoning. All right, so for our second question, could a proportion have time in hours and minutes? And then the second part is Mike runs 1.5 miles in 20 minutes and 3 miles in an hour. Is Mike's distance proportional to the time he spent running? So let's deal with that first, justifying your reasoning. So you want to say, can your proportion have time in hours and minutes? No, never. Units matter and they have to be the same. Okay, so let's try to solve the second part. So Mike runs 1.5 miles in 20 minutes. You know what, I'm going to do that in a different color time. So you have 20 minutes. And 3 miles in an hour. Is Mike's distance proportional to the time he spent running? So like we mentioned in the first section, time matters. So if they're giving you minutes and they're giving you hours, you have to make that consistent. we can change 1 hour into 60 minutes pretty easily. So we have 3 halves. I converted it into an improper fraction, 1.5, in 20 minutes. So you have your miles over your minutes set equal to 3 miles in 60 minutes. Again, still matching up your units. So here you want to see if you have your cross products are the same, 20 and 3, and 3 halves and 60. So let's multiply. 20 times 3 equals 3 halves times 60. We get 60 and 90, and that's not equal, so it is not proportional. If for some reason they ask you to justify it, you would say your cross products are not equal. Okay, for the last question, try this one on your own, come back and check to see if you got it correct. So here we have a 12-pound Canadian goose that eats 1,814 grams of food per day. Then we have a 3-pound mallard duck that eats 544 grams of food per day. Would the grams per pound for the mallard duck be proportional to the grams per pound for the Canadian goose? So you want to see if they're proportional. So we have pounds of food. So how many pounds and how many grams of food? Same thing here. So 12-pound goose can eat 1,814 grams. I'm going to set that equal to my 3-pound duck that eats 544 grams of food. We're going to see if they're proportional. So 1,814 times 3, is that going to be proportional to 12 times 544? When I multiply 1,814, I'm going to get 5,442 when multiplied by 3. 12 times 544, you're going to get 6,528. So then this would be not proportional. Okay. So if you are in class, please continue to complete your independent work. And if you're at home, make sure you're checking Google Classroom for your assignments. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.